Welcome to The Fight with Teddy Atlas, presented by Dynamic Striking. I'm Ken Rideout, joined as always by Boxing Hall of Famer, the great Teddy Atlas. Today's episode of The Fight Plan is brought to you by MyBookie. Check them out at mybookie.ag. Use the promo code ATLAS for a 50% credit on your first deposit up to $1,000. We're here in Lower Manhattan at the Trinity Boxing Club today. We're going to do a fight plan for the big Battle of the Titans, the trilogy, Fury versus Wilder 3. Teddy, what are you going to look for?
Well, I think we all know by now that Wilder can punch, and he can punch hard. But I also think, if we're being honest and using these optics the right way, I think that we also know that Wilder can't fight. He don't know how to fight, or better yet, he don't know how to box. So the question here is, has he learned anything since being knocked out by Fury? Well, they say that an old dog can't learn new tricks. But that doesn't mean that the old dog don't still have these teeth where he can bite you. You gotta be careful with those teeth. I hear some howling, some barking right now. Let's go inside and let's find out. Watch out for those teeth. Please, please don't get bit.
All right, Teddy, what does Tyson Fury have to do in this trilogy fight to get the win again over Deontay Wilder?
Well, the first time, you know, he outboxed him, he kept him off balance, he used his wheels. And he showed the agility that is not common in a big man. Guy's 6'8", you know, 280 pounds, whatever, he chooses to come in, but he used the ring. And he got a draw. A lot of people thought he won that fight. The second time, well, he did it in a different way. He kept him off balance, but he did it by walking him down with his jab. He had a longer, bigger, heavier jab, and he backed him up with that jab and just didn't let him get set for the one thing that Wilder is always looking to land, the right hand. So I come from kind of a school, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So let's not fix it. Let's keep it the same. Let's do what he did last time. So you're going to be Mr. Wilder. I'm going to be Fury. They're both orthodox. And, well, as we talked about, he's got that big jab, that long jab, that heavy jab. You know, he just backed him up with it. Boom, boom. And he kept him off balance. He kept him unstable, if you will, where he couldn't get set to throw the right hand. And there's two specific ways that he can get the end result. The big bang, that Fury can get it. You know, everyone thinks about the big bang with Wilder, but Fury's a big guy. You know, he's putting his weight on you. He hits you, you're going to feel it. Obviously, Wilder felt it. Not only did he feel it physically, he felt it mentally. He felt the pressure. He got broken down in that way, too, not just in the physical department. So, pick up where he left off. The way he ended the fight, Fury, where he hit him with the jab, and then he stepped out. Boom! He stepped out, and he threw the right hand, and then he came right back in. Just stay right there with the right hand. So he hit him with the jab. Boom! He stepped out. Boom! Boom! And he stepped right back in. That was the final punch that made Breland, his cornerman, who did the right thing, by the way, but he got fired for it. That made him step in and stop the fight. So that's one. The other one is along the same lines, where this time you get him to fall in. You know when he throws the right hand, he's always out of position, always off balance. So what you do is get him to be out of position again. Let him think you're throwing it, and let him throw the right hand. When he reaches in, fill the hole. So give a little feint like you're going to throw, bang! Let him do your work for you. Let him just fall into your right hand. If you can do that, well, once again, you're a heavyweight champ of the world. And you can talk all that crazy stuff you talk. You know, it's hilarious. It really is. It's, I mean, you make us laugh, you entertain us, and but you're a hell of a fighter too.
All right, Teddy, we know what Tyson Fury has to do to win the fight. We've seen him do it once. You've shown us the fight plan. What does Deontay Wilder have to do, if anything, to finally get a win on Tyson Fury?
Well, he has to improve. you know, and we're going to say that if he did improve, we're going to show where he needed to improve. And that starts with what destroyed him last time. You got to be honest with yourself. Fury was in control. He was the boss. You got to find a way to be the boss, or at least not let him be the boss. And how was he the boss? Well, with the jab. That was it, with the jab. He controlled you with the jab. And then, of course, I always say, you know, you set the table with the jab and you eat with the right hand. And he ate with the right hand at the end, did Mr. Fury. He's got a big appetite. You know, he's a big man. So what he's got to do is find a way to avoid that jab and to get his jab in, but retain balance, because his fundamentals, his basics are terrible. They're all over the place. He's always off balance. I mean, anything, you choose anything, any sport, any vocation, the one thing, you got to be balanced. I mean, even if you were talking for a living in a boardroom or in a classroom, you got to be balanced with your talk. You got to, you know, you can't be heavy on one side. You can't be out of whack, out of balance. And he was out of whack, he was out of balance. So for me, you be Mr. Fury, I will be Mr. Wilder. And again, set your feet. Get the right distance, first of all. Get the right where you can get full extension on your punches, all right? Where you're not close enough where you can counter you. Get full, and bend your knees. Grab the floor, all right? Get some balance. And keep the weight on the balls of your feet where you're balanced, but not on your toes where you could be off balance. Just where you're set, you're ready to move, but you're able to be really stable. And what you got to do is, well, when he throws the jab, okay, throw that jab, there it is, beautiful. Boom, throw it at me, right, yeah, don't try to throw it to miss me, because then you're gonna hit me, because I'm gonna make you miss right now. So, when he throws the jab, boom, slip and throw your jab, keep your balance, bang, right here, and slip over here, boom. So you go, bang, okay, do it again, bang. So either way, boom, boom. Move your head. Tyson used to do it. He was a lot shorter than you. He out-jabbed guys. He was balanced. He did pretty good. So again, you're stable, you're balanced, you simply move your head, boom, boom. You don't lose your balance, you catch him with the jab, you're the boss. That's one way. The other way, every once in a while, throw the jab right at me again, slip it, bang, right hand. Slip it, bang, right hand. Bang. No loss of balance, no flopping in, no falling in. The right hand nice and set, good power, grabbing the floor. Whoa, boom, right like that. Now I got one more for you. Maybe an old dog can learn new tricks. And if you do this one, I'm gonna change the angle here. I'm gonna change the angle right like this, because this is something that I actually teach on my instructional videos on dynamicstriking.com. Not that I was looking to sell anything today, but it just fits right in. Because if you learn this, if you know this, again, it'll keep you from being predictable, and it'll give you a way of landing what you want to land. The right hand, that lightning bolt that you have. It'll give you a way, yeah, he has one too. It'll give you a way of landing it the right way without losing position and without him seeing it coming. Because the way you've been throwing it like hand grenades all over the place, they're like duds. You know, they're blowing up and making holes all over the place instead of in the right place. I call riding the rails, where when he throws the jab, go ahead, throw that jab at me. Okay, when he's throwing that jab, I'm gonna, no, at me, kid. All right, right at me. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna ride right alongside it. Whap! I'm gonna ride right alongside that rail. I'm gonna bang, simultaneously throw the right hand. Whap! Just like that. Whap! So, he's throwing it, you're nice and balanced. He's throwing the jab at you. You're gonna give a little slip to your left, and at the same time, throw that right hand to ride the rail. Right down Broadway. Wow! Now, I don't know if he has someone to teach him That could be the problem. And you do need someone to teach you this stuff. But you never know. He might see this in time. He might see it in time. Or maybe he got taught it. You would hope so for his sake. But those are ways that an old dog, well, he can fool you. He could learn a few tricks. And like I said earlier, the dogs, even old dogs, they got these. They got these dentures, these teeth. You make a mistake with them.
All right, Teddy, let's talk about the line for the guys at MyBookie. Rob, hit me with that hat. Check them out, mybookie.ag. Use the promo code ATLAS, ATLAS, for up to 50% credit on your first deposit, up to $1,000. The line on this fight, minus 275 on Tyson Fury, plus 210 on Deontay Wilder. Who do you like, Teddy?
Now listen, I'll tell you, Fury's the better fighter. I think he's stronger mentally, and I think he's physically the better fighter, not with power. That's one thing Wilder can do better than most. He can punch like a son of a gun. But Fury uses his ability, he's much more diverse, much more balanced, as I was talking about how important it is to be balanced and be able to just, have different options. He's the better guy in those areas. But there's one thing about power. It's a great eraser. All you have to do is make one mistake, and you got 12 rounds. One mistake, and bang! It's over. This is a tough one for me. I want to go with Fury, but you know what? I'm gonna flip the table. I'm gonna surprise you. I'm gonna grab that money, and I'm gonna say that Fury, this time, will make one mistake and get caught with that right hand. And the old dog will, we'll get to how.
There you have it. Check it out, mybookie.ag. Use the promo code ATLAS. Good luck. So, Alex, you saw the picture that Teddy posted on his Instagram of Teddy and your dad back in the day.
That's right.
And then you reached out to Teddy and you recognized it was your dad?
Yep, yeah. So
it
was pretty crazy. So Teddy posted it, and I just quickly commented, "That's my dad." Like it was like a kid. Proud of my dad with being with Teddy Atlas, and he's like, "Oh wow, that's crazy." And then I told him in the comment section what his influence on my life, even though I never met him before. And my dad, throughout my training, ever since I started training when I was 8 years old, he'd always mention the way Teddy trained him, the knowledge that Teddy gave my father, and the knowledge, therefore, that my dad gave me. So it's like Teddy was almost this figure in my life. Like, I've always wanted to meet. The plan was to become a world champion and then get the introduction, but it didn't go like that. But
you had a decorated amateur career.
No, I did. I started boxing when I was 8 years old. I won the Junior Olympics for New York when I was 16. And then I went to NYU Stern School of Business, where I studied economics and global business. And had a couple internships throughout. Even got an offer from HSBC right after, in wealth management, right after graduating college. I turned it down because I wanted to go back to my passion, which was boxing. I wanted to see it all the way through, if you will. So I signed up for the Golden Gloves in 2016. We won in the 165-pound division. Also got the Mark Brilliant Outstanding Fighter of the Year. I think the biggest thing boxing gives you is not learning how to fight. It's learning how to live, how to fight the fight of life. That's what boxing's about. Exactly. And I know that. I know this.
And
so
Jose,
it's a direct correlation.
Jose, how old were you when you started training with Teddy?
When I was training here, I was like 23, 24.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I appreciate that he was very patient with me, because I'm very, very honest. I wasn't an easy student to work with. I had nothing to work with, and Teddy was insisting, and he got me to the level that I was, putting me to spar every day with a different pro, and I didn't know. It was a different world the minute I met him, and
not just sparring with different pros, but I think you beat Chris Eubank once, right?
I can meet Chris Eubank one time, and we had a problem.
And then Teddy beat him in the back room.
Yeah, what happened after I beat Chris, we went to get dressed, and we were getting dressed, and Chris was accusing me of getting the win because of Teddy.
Saying that the judges favored you because Teddy was your trainer.
Because Teddy was my trainer. So when I know Teddy had temper. So I didn't want, he walked in, Chris was trying talking to me like from this distance. And Teddy walked in, he said, what is he saying to you? I said, no, he's not saying anything. He said, no, what is he saying to you? And Chris told him what happened. And Chris, you know, right away when Teddy told me that, when Chris told Teddy that they gave me the fight because of him, Teddy jumped on him and said, we had a rumble. We had a rumble back in the locker room.
Don't mess with Teddy's fighters.
No. Teddy was very protective. I mean, I had never seen a trainer so protective.
I don't want my fighters to get hurt. I want them to learn what they needed to learn. And as far as Chris Eubanks goes, he's a good guy. He won a world title.
Yeah.
Special guy.
Yeah.
A little arrogant at that time, but
yeah.
we all were. We were all a little hot-headed.
Yeah.
We were all young, and you know, Chris Eubanks, good man, and I'm glad I didn't have to face him later.
I know.
You know, and then he had a son also.
He had a son
that became a successful fighter, and I believe he's still fighting. But
he's still fighting.
the most. So I didn't realize that. So I was the uncle in your household that nobody ever met.
Yeah, pretty much. Uncle Ted. Yeah, Uncle Ted. Yeah, that's right.
That's nice. Listen, you know what? You did what I would want you to do, Jose.
Yes.
You became a good man.
Thank you.
And a good father.
I appreciate it.
You know, and a good trainer.
Thank you.
Because you made him a champion.
Yes.
And I'm proud of you.
I appreciate it. Forever grateful. You know, over all my life. You know.
I'm just glad that, like I said, all that time spent. It was a lot of time.
Yes, a lot of time.
A lot of work.
A lot of work, and he also used to call me almost every other day. What do you think? To check, to make sure everything was. I mean, it was. I had to be on call. I had to be in shape. I know that.
I was his assistant trainer for 8 weeks in camp. I know everything you're talking about.
Oh, okay, so.
Because if you gotta do it right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because it's too serious a business not to do it properly. You know, you understand that. And your father, obviously, he injected that into you. He made you understand that.
Yep.
And he raised a good son.
Thank you.
And again, I just, it makes me realize that things you do and you put time into, it doesn't have to turn out to be, you know, you're in Madison Square Garden winning a world title to turn out to be a successful thing. And seeing you as a person, as a man now, it's like I did win a title with you.
Thank you so much.
Because you're a good person.
Thank you so much, man.
We could use good people.